The Wild Mouse is one of the most common roller coaster designs in the world, and is one of the classic rides that people either love or hate. But there is more to this roller coaster than meets the eye, with its history spanning almost a century. In this video, I'll be taking a deep dive into the history of the Wild Mouse roller coaster, what inspired its design, how it developed over the years, and what the future may hold for this type of roller coaster. A Wild Mouse is a variety of roller coaster that consists of sharp, unbanked turns, navigated by single-car vehicles. The coasters are known for being rough and jolty, providing moderate lateral g-forces. There are a variety of sizes available, but they generally have a small footprint, making them a popular addition to travelling fairs and smaller amusement parks, although they can be found in amusement parks across the globe due to their compact design and low manufacturing cost. A common characteristic of a Wild Mouse coaster is a car designed to resemble a mouse, often with a charming design. Although there are varieties that stray away from the traditional mouse design. A popular alternative car design is the minecart, but there are also some more unique designs out there. The year was 1908, and in Luna Park in Coney Island, New York. The park was attracting more visitors than ever. A man named Henry Elmer Reel, who was the superintendent of Luna Park at the time, debuted a brand new patented design of roller coaster, the Virginia Reel, which he had named after his daughter, Luna Virginia Reel. The roller coaster was like nothing ever seen before, with free-spinning circular ride cars, a track featuring unbanked turns and switchbacks, which made the tub spin even faster. The coaster was extremely popular and soon caught the attention of parks across the Atlantic. A total of 10 roller coasters of this design were built. The last was at Blackpool Pleasure Beach in the UK. But although his roller coaster was not the most popular, its unique design would inspire one of the most well-known roller coaster models in the world. In the 1930s, a wooden variety of roller coaster began to appear at amusement parks, consisting of the sharp turns reminiscent of the Virginia Reel, except without the circular tub cars. Instead, these models had smaller cars, which could only sit 2 people, and made the turns on the track feel more aggressive. Unfortunately, it's incredibly difficult to find information on the Wild Mouse roller coasters before the 1950s. One of the earliest known models I could find was Devil's Chute, manufactured by Odin and Spooner, who were known for manufacturing scenic railways and fairground rides. Devil's Chute opened at Clarence Pier in the UK in 1951. In 1950, a company named B.A. Schiff and Associates began to manufacture their very own model of Wild Mouse. But there was a twist. The track was now made out of steel. The steel track still featured the tight turns that the wooden variety was famous for. However, there were many more drops and bunny hop hills. The ride cars, which could seat up to 4 people, were designed to be wider than the track, so that when taking the sharp turns of the track, it felt like the car could fly over the edge. Schiff manufactured Wild Mouse coasters for almost every major amusement park across the US at the time, offering both a larger model for permanent installations and a smaller portable model for travelling fairs. Over 70 Wild Mouse coasters were manufactured by B.A. Schiff and Associates between 1950 and the 1970s. Meanwhile, another manufacturer, Myler Manufacturing, were also mass-producing this model of roller coaster around the same time. The Allen Herschel Company also began manufacturing Wild Mouse coasters in the 1950s, creating a larger model named Monster Mouse, and a more compact version named Mite Mouse, as well as the standard size Wild Mouse. In 1958, Mack Rides manufactured the first and only wooden Wild Mouse roller coaster, although this was already a dying breed at the time. But Mack Rides would later revisit this model of coaster and reinvent it. By the late 1960s, the number of new Wild Mouse roller coaster installations fell dramatically, with the concept becoming almost extinct by 1970. The once popular and thrilling Wild Mouse was being overshadowed by larger, faster, and more thrilling roller coasters. The pioneering tubular steel track, which first debuted in 1959, had all eyes on manufacturer Aerodynamics, who later installed the first modern inverting roller coaster, Corkscrew, at Knott's Berry Farm. With the rise of the modern-day design, there was little demand for a jolty, comparably unattractive Wild Mouse roller coaster. Though in the 1990s, the Wild Mouse made a comeback, with the low cost of manufacture being their biggest selling point. In 1996, Mack Rides revisited the Wild Mouse concept and reinvented the model as the modern-day Wild Mouse, with the installation of Wild Mouse at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. Other manufacturers such as Maurer, Aerodynamics, and Zamperla soon followed suit with the revival of the Wild Mouse roller coaster. Following the Wild Mouse revival in the mid-90s, the late 90s saw a new spin on the coaster design, when French manufacturer Revachon pioneered the spinning Wild Mouse roller coaster, which used the traditional Wild Mouse layout, but with circular spinning cars. The first model of this type of roller coaster to be installed was Crazy Mouse at Dinosaur Beach, New Jersey, which opened in 1997. This new twist on the roller coaster was extremely popular since it still had a low manufacturing cost, but with the added thrill of spinning cars, it gave the ride a new dimension. In 2001, Maurer opened their first spinning Wild Mouse roller coaster model at Oberhausen, Germany, and later in 2005, Zamperla began manufacturing their own spinning Wild Mouse roller coaster model, the Twister Coaster. Today, the spinning Wild Mouse roller coaster is still very popular and can be found in parks across the world, and is one of those models that almost every roller coaster manufacturer has in their product range. Another notable variety of Wild Mouse, which I haven't yet covered here, is the looping Wild Mouse. This was a model that was only offered by one manufacturer, Togo. The Japanese manufacturer opened their first looping Wild Mouse coaster in 1981, naming it Crazy Mouse. Togo later installed a dueling looping Wild Mouse roller coaster at Knott's Berry Farm, California, named Windjammer Surf Racers. Unfortunately, this coaster turned out to be very problematic, experiencing mechanical problems within weeks of opening. It soon became infamous for being rough and lacking padding on the restraints. In 2000, Knott's Berry Farm filed a lawsuit against Togo, citing misaligned and poorly designed tracks, defective safety restraints, and wrinkles in the main frame of the trains. The park also alleged that the ride's design flaws prevented operation during medium winds, sometimes even causing the coaster to stall in slight breezes, which Knott's called an embarrassment. While Togo won the lawsuit, their reputation was damaged beyond repair, subsequently filing for Chapter 7 bankruptcy in 2001 and closing all of their American offices. No other roller coaster manufacturer has attempted to create a looping wild mouse, which was understandable after the numerous issues with Togo's model. Wild mouse roller coasters have been present in both amusement parks and smaller fairs through a long span of time, rising to their height of popularity in the 1950s. But with the decline of popularity, all that had to be done was take a look back at what first inspired the concept, the Virginia Reel, and add a new element to the ride to take it to the next level. It's funny to think that the modern-day spinning wild mouse is more similar to the Virginia Reel than the original wooden wild mouse ever was. And it still continues to be a popular model, with new coasters of this variety popping up all over the place. What could be next for the wild mouse? Could we perhaps see another attempt at a looping wild mouse coaster? An inverted wild mouse? That could be interesting. A launched wild mouse? That's a terrible idea. What is your favourite wild mouse coaster? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a like, and subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this. Thank you for watching.